What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's time for a little Silver Studs update. Did I just look at my mic to see if I was unmuted to make sure I didn't have to restart recording? Yes, I did. Deal with it. Right, we're starting in here. We're going to update a game. You can probably see the record there unless you can't read black and white. We can get to 500 here if this is a dub. Let's see. Come on, win. I don't know who's pitching right now. I kind of saved until I could start recording. A day off, of course. Of course, we don't even get a game to look at. Oh, wow, one of those 5-game weeks. I hate those in real life. We had back-to-back 5-game weeks. If I was like a diehard Texas Wings fan, that would annoy the hell out of me. Those 5-game weeks are killer for your favorite team. Or when you're like your superstar in fantasy has one. You know, my big squad this year has Jose Ramirez, driving the train, and when Cleveland has a 5-game week, I'm like, well, my offense is going to be down a little bit. But let's take a look. So we are 1 game under. We've been treading water. I mean, that's what you're going to get when you're 1 game under 500. We were over 500 last month, 1 game, and we're 1 game over this month to make up for the fact that we were 3 under in April. So it's been better than April, but it hasn't been significantly better. Now, just a quick glance here. You just look down, you see all single digits except homers, and you see all double digits except a couple. What's that tell you? Hitting's leading the charge right now, and hitting is why we are where we are, which means we need to make some pitching changes. And I was gonna make some, and then show them to y'all when I got here. And then I was like, you know what? Let's do it together. First off, let's take a gander at what we're dealing with here. Despite being just 1 game under, we're 4th in the division. We're buried in the wild card. 5 games back, but 4 teams back as well. And as you get deeper into a season, that becomes a bigger deal because you not only need to perform, but then you need multiple teams to falter underneath or above you as well. So it can get really tough. We're going to need to close the gap. Obviously, I'm not looking at thinking we're going to make a premier. Well, being Paul Molitor fan, so this just caught my eye. I don't necessarily think we're going to make a big premier wild card spot or division playoff spot with a 500 record, or even, under, as it were, at this instance. So let's look at the expanded. Find our team here. Got a minus 25 run differential, so we're 2 games above our Pythag here. We're about even home and away. We're doing well in 1-run games. That's helping us. That's really keeping us afloat. Got to be careful with that, though. That's a little Seattle Mariners flavor. That's how they're surviving this year. I'm just going to keep the lid off of that. And the thing of it is, 1-run games are generally 50-50s. That's all there is to it. Over the course of a large sample, it's about a 50-50. So when you're performing well above, you're due for some regression. Of course, when you're well under, for example, the Bloodchester Demons, they've got some positivity in store here, and you can tell from their Pythag, but also from their 1 run. They're 5-11, and they're still in first. So that AC Central, watch out, because that team might even get better. But yeah, we're playing a little bit over our heads right now, so we won't be averse to maybe stabilizing the offense in some capacity. And you saw what our biggest issue was. There's a lack of power, and we don't have a ton, although I do favor speed and not striking out. I think that's a better way to kind of run an offense, but sometimes you just need to put the ball over the fence. And let's see here. I mean, we are avoiding the strikeouts. And like I said, I generally go for decent defense, but we haven't even had that good of defense. So if we're not getting that good of defense, we should be getting more power. Because that's usually a 1-to-1 trade-off. Obviously, it's those very special guys who can do both. But let's start with the pitching. Like we said, that's our biggest issue right now. It's our focus. At the very beginning of the year, Carmona was struggling. He had 2 dud starts to open the year. Didn't get much better in the 3rd or the 4th. So he had a 13.50 ERA. So to be at 4.48 right now is incredible. And how do you do that? You reel off 5 gems in a row right here. No, 4 gems in a row right here. Another dud, decent outing, 8 innings, 4 runs, and then 4 more gems of all of 7+ innings as well. So that's fantastic, and that's how he's made a run here, and all of a sudden he's down at a 448, and we're all good with what Fausto's doing. However, Cannonball Jackman has not had a similar fate. I think I was looking to move him. I was going to make a move. I can tell you exactly where it happened. So he had these starts here at 11.57 ERA. I see this start. I'm like, okay, cool. I need 2 good ones in a row, though, or else I'm making a move. And he throws a shutty and just says, boom, I'm back. And I'm like, okay, cool. Wrong. Dud, 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 dud. And okay outing last time out. So I think that's going to be it for now. We're going to send him out. Cannonball Jackman's having a big issue. His whip is through the roof. His home run rate is as well. What's causing the whip? Like, is he walking guys? That's not really what he's supposed to do. He does have 23 walks. That's an 8% rate, but he doesn't miss bats. Okay, at least he's not walking guys. What's his BABIP looking like? 370. Okay, so there is some bad luck, but you know what? It's hampering us. And I'm not going to wait for the regression. He was excellent last year. Decent the 2 years before that. I feel like he could probably get, even if he didn't get back to these levels, the 39-40 level, where his full season numbers were, from here forward, he could probably be that guy. But let's try to spike something bigger. Let's find something in the rotation that maybe is better. Let's see what's out there in the market. Isn't there there's a new guy. There's a new future legend who's like $1 billion. Frank Mazzucato. He's not out there right now. The one I saw yesterday was 54,000 points. Not getting that one, thank you very much. Let's see if there's anybody else that jumps out that I've been looking at. I'm probably just going to go with somebody we've got. Now, I talked about Weaver last episode, and I was like, we could. But we're getting the same non-strikeout situation, and we couldn't even get him right now anyway. I kind of want some punchies, okay? I want some strikeouts. I want to miss some bats here. And I wonder if we might put Cole Henry back in the rotation. Now, he's not been that great as a reliever with this ERA, 4.54, but I like the 118 whip and the strikeout to walk ratio strong. Okay, home run rate is through the roof this year. It's always going to run a little high. He's got a 55 movement. That's what we're signing up for on some level. But I'm going to go ahead and move him in, and then Cannonball Jackman is now being replaced for a reliever, and I've got just the guy in mind. Actually, I got it down between 2 guys. I can get strikeouts, or I can really make sure we're not giving up homers. So I'm looking at Austin Adams, a guy we've used before, briefly now. 3 innings here, but he was also in the playoffs of that year. Recommended to me by my boy Shreen. Said, don't forget, don't sleep on Austin Adams. Agreed. Love that. Or we could be a genie. He's not going to give up homers, but I don't know. I kind of want those punchies. I'm going to go Adams. We're going to go Adams here. We're also going to get back to an old favorite. Where'd he go? Oh, they put him right in setup. Oh, perfect. That's exactly what I want. Wait a minute. Is this on auto or something? Or did it just like, no? Did it just remember that that's where he was the last time I used him? Because that's exactly what I had. That's interesting. I didn't know it did that, actually, if that's what's happening. We got to talk Kevin Rogers here, because I do not know what's going on. 6 ERA, 2.14 whip is the killer. Now, sure, his control is low, but you're not getting a 16% walk rate. That's not supposed to be happening, but it is, and I've said it a million times before. I'll say it again. They get the volatility of year to year, or they get the year to year volatility so well in this game. I mean, because this is what happens when you're running a simulator. You can't just expect it to play out real life. It's just not how it works. If you want to replicate real life, good luck. Like, you can't just be like, well, I'm watching the 2021 season. I want every player to have the same breakout when I use them in MLB The Show or OOTP. And it's like, that's not how it's going to work. There's a range of outcomes. The year that we're seeing in real life this year is a particular point on the range, and you rerun it back. I mean, you could recycle this year, reverse time, start back on April 1st, and maybe the Twins don't get many injuries. Buxton doesn't get hurt at all. Couple starters, are better than they were. Randy Dobnak is something. Jay Happ is like capable with like a 4.50 ERA all year. Barrios is an ace, and all of a sudden they're leading the Central, right? Like, that's how it works. So anyway, a faulty explanation of volatility aside, we're getting the shit end of Kevin Rogers' volatility. And frankly, as far as like the outcomes, we were probably due a stinker at some point, and I can almost guarantee you that if I let it ride, he would come back to the pack a little bit. Again, like I said with Jackman, he wouldn't necessarily get his full season numbers back to like this rate, but from here forward, he feasibly could be that guy. But I don't want to wait for that, because even his 851 FIP is terrible. He's allowing homers like crazy. That's the part that I think would definitely regress as the season went. But he's done so much damage already that it's probably going to be, I mean, it could probably only get down to like 1.8 by season's end. Like, I don't, unless he just doesn't allow a homer the rest of the year. What's going on? Does he allow a homer every appearance? With relievers, it doesn't take much though. Two in one game is just devastating for a reliever, and then 3 in 4 different across 4 outings. Yeah, so it doesn't take much. That said, you got to go. You got. I'm gonna send you out here because we can't really afford to fall behind and wait for that regression. And again, part of me says just trust, because that is a good card. But I got somebody waiting that I'm ready to put back in anyway. That's our boy JK. And he ain't just kidding, because he's out here dominating. And he's been very strong for us. The only reason that he hasn't been on the team, and this is just a absent-minded idiot sitting before you here, is because he was one of the ones who kept getting sent out. And by sent out, I mean put on the reserve roster. I know there's no minors. Sorry, I used that terminology last time, and that was confusing for some people. I know there's no minors. I just meant, when I say sent out, I kind of treat the reserve roster as a minor league. He was one of the guys that kind of kept getting auto put on the reserve, and after a while, I kind of threw my hands up and said, I'm tired of this, and stopped putting him back on. My fault, because been missing out on quality work from a really underrated stud. So JK's back, and I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna throw him on the use more often, just off the top. That's some trust right there. Meanwhile, I'm looking at what's going on here with Chafin, and it's catching my eye in a negative way. Where's your Ks, man? Why so many walks? I know your control's not great, but come on. I wonder if, excuse me, I'm gonna do something here. We're gonna flip. We're gonna go Chafin as the lefty specialist. No more high leverage for you. That can't be helping us. And we'll see what Paul Fry can do in a little bit more of an expanded role. We're gonna jump him to setup. How about that? Boom. Let's back out and go there so it readjusts it. I like to get that picture snapshot in my eye. My mind's eye works better. Or in my real eye, I'm looking at it. Ignore me. Okay, so we got BC going next game, like that. Oh, Kevin Gross was another one. I was thinking, does he have to go? Does he have to go? Another guy whose walks are just through the roof. Oh, you know what? Yep. Finally figured it out. I'm sure some of y'all said it immediately when you realize what's been going on. I'm finally seeing the effects of a shit catcher. We haven't had a bad catcher in this entire project here. We've always, and the offense has usually not been there pretty aggressively, except for that first year with Roseboro. But we've usually had a strong catcher. We have a backup who's pretty decent, but Surhoff is not good. And we're seeing that effect. Now, is his offense outweighing those extra walks and just kind of that overall performance? Probably. Did I submit? I don't know. I think I did. But yeah, it finally hit me that that's what's going on. And that's probably not great given that we don't have strikeout studs. I wonder if we should maneuver around that and move him to DH, because I don't want to lose the bat. I wish in some point in his career he played other positions, but not as a rookie. I guess he was like a set in stone catcher then. What's Rudy doing against righties? He's struggling. So we could... Actually, Hanley should just be the DH against righties right now with Jazz. Because I kind of feel like maybe we should get back to a better catcher, and that would really help us. Like, yeah, I mean, I wish we had better offense in some other spots then. See if we can cop a dub here while we're recording. Man, Surhoff's doing so well. It'd be so much easier to justify if he wasn't literally leading us in WAR and our best hitter by a lot. Like, so easily our best hitter. And we catch an L, and a fat L at that. Had a couple yaks, but it was not worth anything. And of course JK comes in and gets hit through 3 innings. Do I have game strategies on for him? No, just using the regulars. Damn. Gives up 3 runs there. I mean, we didn't have the win either way. Cantwell got rocked. That's tough. Surhoff, I think that's your fault. I don't know. I just think it's probably your fault. Rude. Just calling my players out in the public. The worst GM ever. Yeah, today we lost because of that stupid error by that idiot. He just starts roasting everybody. And did you see him at the dish in the 8th? Yikes, bro. I doubt he'll be on the team much longer. That'd be kind of funny if that's how GM's operated. Okay, man, Jazz has come down. I wonder if it's the strikeouts catching up to him, he says, knowing that it probably is. Yep. He doesn't really play against lefties, so that's okay. I mean, we got, like, solid average guys in a lot of spots. Rios has struggled this year, which is disappointing. He's on a little bit of a... He's on a little bit of a skid here overall when you look at it. After those first 2 brilliant years, he hasn't really come close. I mean, last year was good. I'll take this every year. 3.4 WAR, 110 WRC plus. That's fine. That's fine. But we're at 80 here. We're trending toward a career worst year. I just don't have the heart to take him out, man. Maybe I should. I mean, he's getting some playing time swiped by Hicks, although that should not be happening. Yikes. I just don't understand why Hicks's arm is so bad. I guess he just lost arm capability and I didn't realize it, but I just did not think that he had that bad of an arm. All right, let's see here. I'm going to see if we've got... I'm going to send out Hicks. Let's just go ahead and do that right now because he is not doing well. And we got to bring up an outfielder who could probably, ideally play all 3 positions. You know what? We haven't used Tuck in a minute. It's been a minute. And he was another one who was getting sent out. Yep. Tuck coming back. He was another one who kept getting glitched. And I just threw my hands up and I was like, whatever. I don't even care. I'm so annoyed. He's still going to get some time from Rios here. And from Webster. Who is better against righties. I think he's split against lefties though, right? Yeah. So, I mean, it happens. I'm not Not saying it has to perfectly adhere to the card split, or else it's wrong. I'm just saying it's surprising. This Northrop card is still underwhelming for me, and I feel like it should be good. I feel like he should at least be just pummeling righties. But he's not doing that at all, so we'll see. But okay, so Kyle Tucker's going to get in pretty regularly. Like I said, every third game. You know, we got to move Surhoff up, too. I'll put him at 2. I'm moving way up. If we're going to be absorbing that brutal catching, let's get as many plate appearances as possible. Let's maximize that offensive impact. Vidro not doing great against righties, but is crushing lefties. Pete Rose, solid against both. We could play Pete Rose more at, well, yeah, let's just up the volume with which these two get in. There we go. And then we'll put Tucker as our number 1 guy there with Northrop. And then Hanley. Boom. Now against lefties. Oh, we need a center fielder. I mean, I guess Mitch. Well, no, you know what? I think I'm going to play Tucker against lefties. It's not that good. We'll keep mixing Mitch in with some regularity. We'll go every third game. We can do that. I think that works. And then can Northrop play right? Cool. All right, so there's that. I think we're fine against lefties. I don't want to make too many drastic moves on the offensive side. I think primarily because I don't know that I have cards that are going to completely change the fate. I really am going to be keeping a close eye on whether or not I should... man, I think maybe I should just put Surhoff at DH. Petway doing anything? Oh, well, it's a tiny sample. Okay, but he's doing all right. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. And then Surhoff. So this is against lefties. Boom. Okay, there's that first and foremost. Let's get Surhoff moved up in the lineup here. Because he's hitting everybody. Nobody wants that smoke from Surhoff. In fact, I'll hit him 2 against lefties too. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I'm terrified. But Rudy's killing lefties too. We don't face enough lefties, I guess, you know? My dogs might start barking. The doorbell just rang, so pardon that. But they're behaving. Good on them. They're actually behaving. Normally they bark as soon as it starts ringing, so that's good. Let's try the same thing here. Let's start Petway. Well, hang on. Let's go. There's the barking. There it is. My sincere apologies for that. See if they'll come in here. They won't. They want to see what's going on. Crazy dogs. All good, though. Yeah, so we'll put Surhoff as the backup. So there we go. That should make an impact. That's a 16-point gain on catcher ability just like that. Now, it's not one of these superstars that we've had before behind the dish. Because I like a lot of what Petway can do. You know, it's not a Bob Boone or a Buddy Rosar. But Buddy Rosar, man, I mean, I gave him years. Because remember, he was on the team when I wasn't really paying attention to it and just letting it accumulate points. And so he got all those years. Like, he spiked 2 above average seasons with the bat. Like, that's it. So, you know, I had to move away from him. But some of these other guys, I think, we could look at next year. We'll see how this goes. If Petway starts to completely fall off, I'll bring Roseboro back up. And we'll see how that goes. But we're going to hope that helps. In addition to a couple of moves. Oh, yeah, Kevin Gross. I didn't finish the thought on Kevin Gross. And whether or not we were going to move on from old KG. Let's take a look. Extreme fly ball. but he doesn't allow homers, so that's okay. But that's why his BABIP's down, but his walk rate's through the roof. What else could we do here? My problem, my worry is that like the big strikeout guys that are available are home run machines. Although May might be able to avoid it just by being an extreme ground baller. Still allowed 1.9 in the time that we did use him. That was last year. That's all I've used Dustin May. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. You know what? Should we bring ZT back? He had a brilliant first season. Not so great the second season. What hurt him? The strikeouts dipped. Bad catcher. I don't remember who caught last year, to be honest. Home runs were fine. You know what? I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it a shot here. We're going to take Gross out. We're going to give... Oh, I'm looking at Salazar. Nah. That's too volatile. That's too volatile. What about... No. Back to ZT. He's back. Okay. So we're going with that. And he'll start... Wait, he might have to start this game. Okay, no. Cole Henry's ready. All right. So that's where we're at right now. Nice little update on the Silver Studs. We're treading water. We're hanging in there. But I think a big finish to this month and July could put us. I don't want to say. I mean, obviously it would, but I'm saying could put us in contention. Let's be, if we're not holding a wild card spot, let's be one of the top 2 teams outside of it. Okay. So we'll check in again either on Thursday night or Friday. It'd have to be Friday morning. So we'll see. But thank you so much for watching. Back before the playoffs for sure, especially if we're tracking to make it.